everybody. Welcome back to Rebooked. It's Thursday. You know what that means. Yeah. Shout out Brody Lee, John Huber. It means it is time for our Thursday TNA preview react storytelling mode on Rebooked. That's right. So, of course, you have me, the Drama King, the voice, suck it, Tom, of TNA. Of course, you also have Jake. And of course, you got the man himself, Jay Bizzle in the mizzle. That's right. And his screen didn't freeze. He's just a perfect silent film actor.
It's just my face.
Little known fact about him.
That's just my face, guys. I can't help it.
Fellas, we are in the middle of our little trifecta of episodes. How you guys feeling?
Oof.
It's hump episode.
Yeah. Obviously, the hump episode.
TNA is our hump episode.
Yeah. Look, always excited. We're super pumped that we're doing this, and want to continue to keep building upon this. So again, feedback. Let us know what's going on in the comments down below, because we really think like having an opportunity to just talk TNA is always great.
And this episode in particular, we're wrapping up those episodes, all that stuff that happened in El Paso, Texas, which, man, this is the last one of that series. That crowd was hot. There was like 3,000 people each night. It was pretty stacked, which is cool. It was really cool to see them stay from the pay-per-view and then stay for our tapings the next day and everything like that. So super cool stuff. So let's take a look at just like on every episode, our narrative notes, ladies and gentlemen, because we got them. And starting off, this is going to be kind of like a mini topic of the episode, and it's going to pose a question for us and for everybody. So we saw Eddie Edwards call out the system, his own group. He called out his own faction, which was bold. So, I mean, he basically kind of said things have been going wrong. Things hadn't been going right. Aside from, Moose holding on to that X Division title, everybody's been kind of coming up short lately. It's been kind of advertised and announced that this coming week, the day this episode drops, there could be a system firing. So the question I pose...
failure?
We've gone through every single one of these puns.
Reboot?
Done reboot. We've done failure. We've done overload. We've done system blackout.
System crash.
Of a down?
What's that?
Of a down.
Of a down? System of a down? The band?
No.
The system is finally
Not
down.
done of a down. It might get sued. I don't know.
You need to just mention titles of their songs, and then somebody else will pick up.
The system is chop suey. Yeah.
Yes. Very, very true.
All this toxicity between the members of the system. That's good, brother.
This is a blind, dude.
That's good. In the city? Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that's good. I'm so excited to see this. But I just don't.
Well, who's held their weight the least?
Well,
Well, here's the thing. First of all, good on Eddie for calling a team huddle. No team can truly be great until they've had a players only meeting where they hash their shit out and turn the season around. Perhaps that's what the system's doing here. So good on him. It's Dango. Dango's gonna go. Poor guy.
Wow.
I mean, look, I've also worked in corporate America.
It was almost
first in, first out. Like I know how it works.
You really think
first in, last out? Last in, first out.
Remind
That's
me,
what I mean.
Who brought Dango in?
So Dango kind of was hanging around with the system. He is friends with with Eddie. He goes back with Myers and stuff like that.
He R-truth his way into the system.
Kind of. He kind of hung out, and then they kind of held him at arm's length. Like, you're not actually you got to do a bunch of our dirty work. He tried beat up the Hardys. I think he attacked the Nemeths. So all last summer, he kind of was doing a bunch of he was helping beat up Santana and stuff. And then, at a certain point, he was officially adopted, tracksuit and all.
When I think about that, man, it's like, I don't think that's too easy. It's too easy to just boot Dango out.
Then who? Who do you think?
Make the Hail Mary. Moose.
Brother,
The
I was
one
about
guy
to
who's
say,
got a
I was
championship?
about to say, what if Moose is gone?
Because I think Moose is only ever going to be out for Moose.
For Moose,
And Eddie
he's
knows
doing his
that.
own thing with the X. Yep,
He don't care about what's
100%.
going on with the system. He's going on NXT. He's
Go,
vibing
take
out
that,
over there.
as a matter of fact, bring that picture back up.
Vibing out.
Bring that picture back up. No. The other one where all of them are standing in the ring. Nope, that one right there. Now, who is not
One of these things is not like the other.
One of the yes, but that makes it sound
no.
Anyway,
Stop it.
But yes. Moose isn't in a uniform. He's not in a team uniform. He's not in the warm-up unis.
That's true.
I mean,
and look, like you can say, hey, he's holding it down. It makes sense. But the thing is that when they need Moose, where's Moose? That's where when they lost the tag champ. I don't know. I just think that's like a great.
Dude,
they're
all running in.
I think they're all fallback though.
Moose is out playing around in NXT while the system's holding the house down.
That's what
Dango
I'm
went
saying.
to NXT.
Well, Dango did, but I mean, so then maybe.
So then what?
Look, I
in arguments.
I do think that it could be Dango or Moose. I can't really see it being Hawkins. I can't see it being Eddie, Alicia.
I think it's Lish.
You think it's Lish? I mean, that also feels too easy too. I don't know why. Because it started with Eddie grabbing the mic from
and what? And
sexist.
Well, I mean, look, but it's if nothing you want to get
what is I mean, the system is sexist. Not the one in TNA, but I mean the system.
The system overall.
The overall system is sexist. Oh, that is.
But you want to reignite some heel steam, some heel heat behind the group.
Yeah,
booting the one lady.
That's
booting
true.
Alicia or Dango, I think, would turn the crowd on them super quick. I think.
I honestly, I think booting Moose would get the most heat because there is a contingent of our audience who's Moose.
That's
Moose,
bro.
And they like his matches. So like there is a.
There's a babyface
run for Moose in the future. I don't know if it's now.
Yeah,
but it could be the start.
I don't know, man.
Maybe the start.
There's going to be a lot of fun. That is going to be sick. I'm very much looking forward to that.
It's a big question to ask, and so in that vein, that's our question today for this episode. You can hit down below on YouTube, and as we found out this week on Spotify, on this individual episode, you can click it and comment your answer to who you think will be getting the boot from the system. How, when, where, why? Well, we know when.
Are they going to do Dango dirty? Are we going to say bye, Alicia? Are we going to put the Moose down?
Ooh.
Tell us.
Maybe
there's two more members. There's two more members.
What if Eddie fires himself?
Well, I know, but those are the main ones that we talked about.
Are we going to say adios to Eddie?
Yeah.
Are we going to say bye-bye to Brian?
Bye-bye to Brian, yeah.
Oh, what if
Brian?
Seriously, though, how funny would that be if Eddie just walks and he's like, I quit.
You know what?
And then just leaves.
Ooh, wrinkle.
That would be interesting.
Wrinkle.
You know what?
Fabric.
Who do we most medium suspect?
As we know, that's who it is.
So then, in that case, it's Brian.
So it's Brian.
So it's going to be Brian. Okay, so Brian's getting the axe. We have said everyone's getting the axe so far. By the way, I'm pretty sure
that's the fun of it.
So now,
it's like TNA Knives Out, man. I'm excited.
Tell us. Last week we saw this was more of just kind of like a hometown great moment. We saw the setup the week before with that first class penthouse, but now we get to see the in-ring return of Chavo Guerrero Jr. teaming with the Aztec Warriors to take on his rivalry. Apparently Frankie Kazarian cannot forget from a decade plus ago tag team rival in 6-man tag. I mean, this ain't too deep. This was a one-off appearance, but it was just awesome to see Chavo in front of that crowd.
Oh yeah, Chavo looked like so he is actively wrestling still? Like
He is. I mean, he still has a lot of Hollywood work, but like he's still, I pretty at least I think once or a couple times a month kind of thing.
The dude is an
Yeah.
absolute specimen, man. He is incredible. Big fan of his. I've always been a big fan. But just obviously the Guerreros in general are freaking legendary, god tier. But it's just great to see Chavo get back in there, and he did everything, man. He hit everything. Oh, he even did the backflip too, which I was like, hey, I respect the setup, man. It was really good. That was so fun to watch. I was like really. Like at the end of it, I got a little emotional. It was kind of cool. It was just like nice to see him have that moment in El Paso. The El Paso crowd gave them everything, so that was so sick.
I mean, they love their own, and again, I mentioned it before. That building was a building that his grandfather and stuff promoted and wrestled in, and decades and decades ago. So like, I mean, the ties they run deep.
That's awesome.
Moving right along in our narrative discussion, we get to the world champ. This friendship. You got a friend in me, as we saw this week. I'm surprised we didn't get sued or demonetized with that because Elijah and Joe Hendry came out, had a nice little exchange. Joe Hendry got serenaded, if you will, by Elijah, singing a little bit of Randy Newman and so on and so forth. But it was then interrupted. Speaking of that 6-man tag match, Frankie Kazarian pulling double duty on this show and slapping the bass out here. And as a bass player, I took great umbrage with the disrespect shown to the King of TNA by Joe Hendry and Elijah. Yeah, bass players get no respect. It's ridiculous.
None.
We are the backbone of the rock band. Commentators are the bass players of the wrestling TV show.
Okay, I could respect that. So as a bass
player, name a famous bassist that's not Flea.
But that's not fair because Flea is
But that's my point. That's exactly the point.
But fame. But my point is, fame has nothing to do with it. They are still
but I'm saying that more people need to know the names.
They need to know the names.
That's true.
And one of those names,
John
Geddy Lee. Sorry.
Geddy Lee was
fantastic. Okay. Les
Claypool.
I do have a question, Matt. As a bass player, how would you rate Frankie Kazarian's play?
So I think Frankie was a little distracted with the two men who have threatened his physical health in recent weeks.
Okay, physical.
He had the jitters. Hey, it's hard to slap the bass when your hand is shaking.
Frankie Kazarian on a shoot, as the kids say. Plays in a rock band. Plays bass in a rock band.
That's
so
cool.
He's actually really good, but like he's hamming it. He was hamming it up here.
Sure.
And again, this was kind of more of a fun
entire
segment.
Get Up.
I love
it.
it.
Incredible.
I love it.
He looks like a Guitar Hero character.
He is a Guitar Hero.
Character.
He's a Guitar Hero character who wrestles.
He's literally the default character that you like start the game with, and then you never change because you don't know where to change it in the settings. That's Frankie Kazarian. I will say that like I like fun and I like silly and I enjoyed it because it was silly. And I'm sure silly isn't everyone's bag, but like I really, really enjoy silly. And when you do stuff like this, it makes me pay attention because I'm like, not everything needs to be the world will end if I lose this title. Death, Life and death is what determines. Like, sometimes you just want to slap the bass, man.
Yeah.
Slap it.
We like big meaty men slapping meat and slapping bass.
But think about there have been plenty of there have been plenty of great world champion runs that have kind of been like comedy heavy that were enjoyed. Like Kevin Owens, his only run was during the List and the Festival of Friendship and like all that kind of stuff. So like it's not impossible to do. But like this segment, this is one of those times that you want to be in the back while they're coming up with this shit. And you just want to sit back there and listen to them because I just like it's segments like this and that you're just like, how do you not lose it in the middle of doing all this shit?
Yeah, there were some funny moments there.
It's
There were
so
some silly
funny.
moments for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, a little bit more of that. But I really do like Frankie Kazarian in the mix of all of this, though. And
oh yeah, and of course he's still, because the big reason he's out there, of course, is nobody should forget, he is the Call Your Shot Gauntlet winner.
comes out with that
If you're
damn
not
trophy every time.
Yep. It's basically akin to like a Money in the Bank thing. Won a gauntlet match, he has a chance to cash in on the
He
world
needs to
champion
get like a baby
anytime he
Bjorn
wants.
for it or something, you know, like one of those.
I mean, he's got his scarf that he wraps around.
Yeah, that's true.
It.
He's got the scarf.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
It has
I mean,
his musk on it.
It really accentuates the style, you know. It really brings out its
He's got
eyes.
a lot of scarves.
Yeah, he really does. Who do you think has more scars, him or Chris Jericho?
Oh,
these days it's Frankie.
Yeah, it's Frankie. Right?
Yeah, I
Think
mean,
these
he's
days
really
Frankie.
leaning into the scarf thing.
He's got a lot of scarves. This guy's got a lot of scarves.
Some people got scars.
You know,
some people
he's
got
at Joanne
scarves.
Fabric picking out some fabric right now that he can cut up.
Rolls
into
up to the El Paso, Texas Marshall, and then just goes into the Marshalls and into the scarf section. I can see it now. It's brilliant.
But as haha as that was, at the end of that segment, we did see a little. I forget if this is like the first time or if we've seen this before, but like the question had always been since Elijah showed up, oh, like they're buddies with Joe Hendry, but will he kind of betray him, attack him for the world title kind of thing? And we did see a little tease as there was a scuffle, and then Kaz pushed Elijah towards Joe Hendry. Collision was evaded, but like we're just getting that little tease again. So like
something's there.
Do we truly think this is going to be laying the groundwork for a long-term Elijah Hendry feud down the line?
I'll tell you what else it could be. Perhaps Elijah and Frankie are in cahoots. Perhaps they're cahooting together.
Ooh, they're cahooting.
Maybe they're in a band together.
They might be cahooting together. They might be in a band together. But it could be a situation of like, hey, you get in close with Hendry, and at some moment we can unleash it, jump him, something, kind of and then I'll cash in my Call Your Shot gauntlet. You get first crack at the title.
Classic kind of
classic
pro quo.
Exactly.
Yes.
You scratch my back. You scratch my scarf, I'll scratch yours.
Actually, slap my base, I'll slap yours.
I actually would really like it. I was gonna say that I the only thing I would, or maybe if I had to, theorize what I would like to see happen here, I think it'd be really cool if like there is this friction between Elijah and Joe Hendry, and like then maybe Frankie Kazarian like cashes in, does something with that, Call Your Shot, but then like maybe Elijah causes Frankie to lose it. So Frankie's got like that justification, like, no, he caused it for me. But then maybe we get ourselves like a triple threat or something like that. Because I think that these three guys could really cook up something fun if they were to do that in a triple threat style match. But I also am totally fine if it's just like Joe Hendry versus Kaz, Joe Hendry versus Elijah, because I also want to see Joe Hendry continue to defend the title. So I don't know. Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
Before we get to the primary topic, we did also see Masha Slamovich defeat NXT's JC Jane after she got jumped the week prior. So they had their match. Bada bing, bada boom. The champ comes out on top. But Tessa Blanchard once again rears her angry head, jumps Masha after the match. Not much more to say here other than Tessa clearly eyeing that Knockouts title, letting everybody know. Pretty classic heel, laid a beating down on the champ. We left out on that heat, and so we will see where that goes from here. There is a match involving more of NXT, Tessa, Masha. We'll get to that in the preview. Nic Nemeth and Leon Slater have an absolute banger. Like, you guys, if you haven't seen this, go out of your way. It's like, it's not crazy. It's not some like 25, 30-minute thing, but like it was the main event of that show. And Nick, everybody knows how damn good he is. But Leon Slater continues to, I think, show everyone why he is one of like the hottest, like it's such a cliche, but like the hottest rising stars in the business. But frick, man, he is. And he hung in there with Nemeth, and like these two had a really, really good match. It furthers a little bit the story with the Hardys, of course, Leon Slater in our TNA universe and kind of in real life too, is kind of being mentored by the Hardys. They've kind of taken him under their wing.
That's awesome.
And to the point where he has a move called the Twist of Slate,
which looks awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
Where he does his own kind of very swing on the Twist of Fate. But I wanted to get your guys' take just on Leon Slater and him stacking up with Nemeth.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say right now, this dude is insane, and his athleticism is really like on another level. But he also like really knows how to sell the moment. And I thought like that near fall, like when he got that roll up right at the end, I was like, oh man, this is just I'm give me more. Just keep going, right? And I think like that, like, you know, you need guys like Leon Slater in any wrestling roster. You need those dudes that could do things that not a lot of people can do. But what makes it even better is that it continues to like legitimize and just straight out say without a doubt that Nic Nemeth making the case for one of the greatest of all time. The man could go in the ring with anyone. Just truly anyone. It is insane. I don't know how he does it, because it's not about like he doesn't, can he like, okay, he can easily in a match keep up with like a Ricochet, a Kenny Omega, you know, like we were talking about Speedball Mike Bailey, like that triple threat that's going to be like insanity at Dynasty. Like you put Nic Nemeth in a match like that, I guarantee you he finds a way to shine even brighter than those guys, because he's just so fucking consistent. It is insane.
Yeah.
So
you know who Nemeth to me is, I compare him to like Ryan Stiles or Colin Mockery.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Because if you were like, name the greatest comedians of all time, like honestly, I don't think a lot of people would mention them because they don't think about them. But they are some of the funniest people in the world.
They refine their craft so well.
Because they refine, and they know that to make yourself look good, you got to make someone else. You got to make your partner look good, and that's what Nick does. Is like he is happy playing whatever part he needs to play within a match, and he just kind of says, "You go." And I'll match you. And he's able to do that with anybody.
Yeah.
Like he's a plug and play wrestler, and that does not get enough.
It really doesn't.
I feel like people who really watch wrestling or whatever, like, we're not saying anything that they haven't already said.
Yeah,
you know?
Sure.
But the guy is so good, and he's maybe one of the, and Leon working with him is going to be tremendous, because Nick is also one of the best sellers ever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like he makes everything look like death. he's so good at that psychology in the ring and the physicality, and just like, he's so good at it. And Leon did a great job of playing that kind of underdog, like toughing it out.
Oh
kind
yeah.
of thing, especially, Nick's working on his knee or whatever, and he's selling that and fighting.
And that's one thing Leon's really good for, being so damn young.
Yeah.
But he's been doing this for a long time. He's been wrestling since he was like 11, when should not legally have been allowed to. Like he was rolling around with kind of like Brody Lee's kid is now with like Tyson Kidd and stuff.
Or like Nick Wayne.
He was doing
that
at like 10, 11, 12, and then like started wrestling matches at like 13, 14.
Wow.
He's been doing this like 10 years, and he's 20 years old. It's crazy.
Insane.
That's crazy.
But that means at this young age, while he's still physically like reaching his prime, he's already learned things really well, like selling and like when to like get the emotion in there, where to put these different moments in.
He's working with legends like
I was literally gonna say that.
The freaking Hardys at 20 years old, and he's already got this much experience.
And that's not even to comment on the fact that you also have like a ton of TNA legends that have also been some of the greatest to ever do it too. Like we were talking about Frankie Kazarian, EY, right? Like, I mean, these are guys who have really, you know, been in the trenches and understand the business. And I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better situation for Leon Slater. Yeah, you honestly couldn't. I'm so excited for his career.
Yeah,
so excited.
Can we talk about how, this is a really quick aside, but like, I don't know, we talk about how like, oh man, what it's a good time for wrestling, but truly like every of the major 3 companies, at least here in the United States, kind of everybody has some kind of crop of like young up and coming talent that is really not just like, oh, some young people, like really good standout talent. TNA's got them, WWE's got them, AEW's got them, and then it mixed in, of course, with veterans and then even legends amongst several of them. So like there's a healthy ecosystem in each company if and when it's used right. So like everybody's primed for the next generation.
And when you look at the individuals that are in those positions and the ones that are, you know, kind of a little bit more front and center, right? Your Bryan Danielsons of the world, and Eric Young's. I know he's a very front and center guy with TNA. You know, even in WWE, you got, I mean, take your pick, really. You got a lot of guys over there to do that too. It really is an awesome time, I think, for a lot of these young guys to come into the business and work with people who just seem like decent humans who kind of get it, you know, and hopefully it pays off in the end.
It's the healthiest time. Like, this is the healthiest the wrestling industry has been
probably
ever.
In a long time.
Probably.
Yeah. There's an argument to be made for that.
Very
for
true.
sure.
Very true.
Before all was said and done, we did get some more, speaking of the Hardys and legends. After the conclusion, banger match, of course, little brother Ryan got involved, started tap dancing on Leon Slater's candy ass. And then the Hardys return, make their presence known, run the Nemeths out of the ring like scalded dogs.
Oh, man.
And Matt Hardy getting a chance to, since this kind of turn at Sacrifice from Nic Nemeth, got on the mic, and
I love that title belt, by the way.
They look great.
They
That was
so
rebranded. They all look pretty awesome. Something I was just going to point out, like this, as far as substance goes, like this was pretty straightforward. Threw down kind of the official challenge for Rebellion, tag titles, Hardys, Nemeths, brothers versus brothers. But I just wanted to shine a little light on Matt Hardy. His most recent several runs. Let's go back to like when he returned to WWE way back when, like 2017 or whatever it was, when they had their run. They did the Hardys, but then like Broken Matt came out, did stuff with Bray Wyatt, broken. Got released or left and went to AEW. Broken Universe, did a little bit of that Big Money Matt and stuff too, or like kind of that thing with like Private Party. Came back to here and was Broken Matt Hardy again, but like recently he's kind of gotten to just like be Matt Hardy
again.
Yeah.
And like just get a little raw, get a little real, like the heel turn from Nick, and he's this promo. It's not super long or anything, but just like getting some more just like human emotion as opposed to like this wild and entertaining character.
Yeah.
Is kind of a cool return to form for Matt Hardy.
Perhaps the knock on the head is what Matt needed to pardon the pun, delete that part of his personality.
Right.
I am glad
get him right again.
I'm glad they didn't do it. They didn't do like he, got his head busted open, so he came back as Broken Matt Hardy. Like I'm glad that it was more like, no man, what the fuck? Like I'm pissed, dude. Like I'm gonna destroy you.
Fuck all that noise.
Yeah. Like we're about to throw down right now. And
this just got real personal.
Exactly. So I do agree. I'm glad about that as well, because I also think that like they deserve that. Like we've been enjoying and what the Hardys have been providing for us as fans for years and years and years. And we know their story and their struggles and their ups and downs as well, right? They've been very like open with the with the wrestling community in that regard. So I actually do think this is an awesome, like you said, return to form for Matt. But what I really wanted is I want it to be shown in the match. I want the match to be physical, and I really want them to bloody Ryan Nemeth. I think Ryan Nemeth should be obliterated in that matchup, but that's what I think would be the best thing. Like, it goes too far, but like, are you justified? Are you not justified? Ooh, is it okay? Like, like that kind of stuff, you know, like you're getting borderline to the crazy part, you know, like I think that'd be cool.
Maybe Jeff's got to pull Matt off of him.
Yeah.
Something like that, and be like, whoa, dude, you just hit a gear that we don't need to keep going on.
What
I
if
think that would be really
they both hit that gear, because Jeff had to witness his brother. We were just talking about this with Jimmy and Jay Uso, right?
Yeah,
and like, what were the hopes?
Walked out of the cage watching it.
Yeah, and even though, you know, these guys have been in this, they're older, they've more seasoned, have seen some shit, you know, like, there's room to do some wild stuff here.
Go some places. That's right.
Indeed.
A lot of meat on the bone.
Oh yeah.
That means we look ahead to tonight. Again, if you're watching this as it comes out on Thursday, Impact is coming to you tonight, live on your TV. I mean, live to tape, whatever you want to call it. But it's coming live to you at your home. That's right. So take a little look. Like I mentioned before, got some knockouts action, a little wrapping up of that whole Tessa Blanchard, JC Jane, and the folks from NXT. There's going to be a 6 knockouts tag team match. Masha, Zaya, and Lei Ying Lee will team up to take on JC Jane, Jasmine Nix, and Tessa Blanchard.
Nice.
Knockouts in the main event. We love it. We're going to hear from the Hardys. We're going to hear more from them, calling out the Nemeths. We'll get some developments in that department. More NXT invasion. We're going to see Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson take on former Knockouts tag team champions Spitfire. You see there as well Elijah versus Frankie Kazarian, and our director of authority, Santino Marella.
Santino
has a special announcement. And I'm going to give you a little bit, not a spoiler, but an even like honor teaser. There's been a lot of questions and a lot of controversy and weirdness around that digital media title with Steph DeLander and Mance Warner, and then just taking it and winning it in a divorce. It's a lot of chicanery, wouldn't you say?
I would say much chicanery indeed.
Well, maybe
tomfoolery.
Just maybe Santino Marella has something to settle that. Let's put it that way. And maybe, just maybe, maybe the digital media title won't be around anymore. What? I don't know.
Heard it here first,
I don't know.
No
you might want to watch and see. And of course, our question that we started the show and that we're asking you, the system public firing a potentially member of the system, give him the boot. So you let us know again in all the comments, all that stuff. You let us know who you think it could be. That's the question. While you're down there answering that question, give it a little like. Give it a little follow, depending on what platform you're on. If you're on iTunes, leave it a review. Oh, wait, this is YouTube exclusive. What am I talking about?
It's only YouTube.
That's right. I don't know why I talked about Spotify before.
It's okay.
This is our YouTube only
But you know what? Go there anyway and give those.
Go there anyway and watch the other episode. Listen to the other episodes.
We know that you're here because we just gave you guys a scoop. So make sure you're going to our other damn podcast.
That's right. And share it with a friend. All right, share it with your friends. Let them know. Share it with your Reddit group, whoever it is. Also, make sure you join us on all platforms, of course, tomorrow for our WWE-focused episode of the week. It'll come out before SmackDown and all this heading towards WrestleMania. Dynasty on this weekend. Rebellion on the horizon for TNA.
Oh, my gosh.
Spoiled for riches over the next month or so, we are. But we thank you for tuning in with us for TNA. For GB, for Jake, I'm the Drama King. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.